get in contact with the question of what happened to Earth.
Get in contact with the question of what happened to Earth. Ever since Will Shen uttered these words in the last Constellation Questions, I've always thought it was a really weird way to have posed that statement. We've seen that our home system, the old neighbourhood, exists in Starfield, yet the question about how we, the player, will actually interact with our ancestral home has been very much left in the air. Has Will Shen confirmed we can actually contact Earth? Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Hawkins and today we're going to be looking at some theories on how Bethesda may handle the Earth situation in Starfield. Let's just jump straight into it, shall we? So I don't know about the rest of you, but in my excitement for Starfield, I've been consuming a ridiculous amount of sci-fi and space-themed content. I've watched a whole pile of films, I've watched a bunch of TV shows, I've read so many books, and I've played an awful lot of games. One particular film I watched recently, and is what in fact inspired me to make this video, was the film Gravity. For those of you who have never seen it, it stars Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, and the basic premise is they are astronauts in space fixing the Hubble telescope. Another country blows up one of their own satellites, and this causes a cascade of debris that wreaks havoc and leaves our two astronauts stranded in space. While watching the film, I realised that an orbiting debris field whizzing around Earth at high speeds, which would shred any approaching ship to pieces, would be a great way of sealing off Earth without having to resort to the whole Earth has been destroyed, decimated or made uninhabitable trope. We would still be able to contact Earth and still be able to have our cradle of civilization and possibly have it around for any future DLC or follow-on games that Bethesda would want it for. So of course I just had to check up about that film, and while reading about it on Old Faithful IMDb, I discovered that there is an actual term for this event: Kessler Syndrome, or even the Kessler Effect. A scenario first proposed by NASA scientist Donald J. Kessler in 1978. He proposed, and I'm simplifying this, that if there was enough collisions between space pollution, it would cause a cascade of debris that would in turn cause more debris, and so on, resulting in a high density of debris in Earth's orbit that would render satellites and activities highly problematic for future generations. I thought Gravity captured the look of that fantastically and showed just how lethal a high-speed debris field would be. I even found a photo from a museum that showed the effect of a small piece of plastic hitting a thick block of solid aluminium, and could only think, yeah, that would put a hole in any ship. Getting hit by a lot of them would probably not end well. I'm also of the opinion that this theory fits in well with the timeline that Bethesda have given us for the game already. We know it's been 20 years since the end of the war between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective, a war that was noted to have been bloody, and it could be why New Atlantis is the capital for the UC now and not Earth. Earth is surrounded by a massive high-speed debris field from the war, and while the cleanup is underway, we just won't get to go there. Not yet, anyway. Of course, there could be a completely different reason why the capital was moved. There's a lot of ways that Bethesda could deal with why humanity had to leave Earth. Maybe it's as simple as what we saw in the Firefly movie Serenity. We just used it up and had to leave to find lusher grounds because there is nothing left for humanity on Earth other than death. Or maybe the war had a more devastating effect on Earth than just leaving an orbital debris field, and now due to that humanity has had to move on. Was it nuclear in nature, leaving Earth scorched and radioactive? Fallout, anyone? Did the forces of the Freestar Collective strike a blow at the heart of the UC and pull an Expanse-like plotline and hurled asteroids from the void of space? Or did they have ships with mass drivers and just plucked rocks from the belt and launched them from orbit, striking a fatal blow to the planet? However it happened, the lush green world we know is gone, inhospitable for human life, and is now just quarantined away from anyone. If someone attempts to approach, they are engaged and forced back or destroyed. Earth that was is to be left alone and given time to heal and serve as a reminder of what has and could happen again if humanity doesn't change. Or is it a warning of what humanity is capable of. A dead rock that is the grave for billions of slaughtered people. Personally, I'd rather it not be like this, as I feel the particular Dead Earth scenario has been done to death, no pun intended, but like I've always said, even if it's an old idea, if done well, I can still enjoy it. There is still one other option I could see Bethesda using that would solve the Earth issue in the game, and is by far the most devastating one to think about. Earth is gone. Not just uninhabitable, the planet itself is destroyed, and all that's left is the shattered remains of our homeworld, or it's just not there at all. We know once we join Constellation that they are aware and looking for these artifacts, we just don't know why. How did the existence of the artifacts come to light? I theorised in my previous video that what if the first artifact was found on Earth? Was it found during the war? And was there a nasty, hasty attempt to use it as a weapon, and instead it cracked our planet like an egg, or worse, sucked it into some kind of gravitational anomaly? Could this be the sort of event that occurred that resulted in the peace brokered between the two warring factions, seeing the birthplace of humanity decimated with something neither side wanted, and the deaths of so many forcing the two sides to come to terms? You know, as much as I like this theory, I just can't see it being how Bethesda would handle the Earth situation in the game. I mean, it's fairly bleak, and the often relaxed way Constellation is portrayed in the trailers doesn't mesh so much for me with what I would have thought would be a more frantic race to find out what the artifacts do before it happens again. But then again, if the artifacts made the planet vanish into, say, like a wormhole or into another dimension, and it's been 20 years, it could be acceptance that Earth is gone. Life is carrying on, and there's not much of a race to figure out how to get it back after the initial panic that it may happen again. I mean, humanity is, after all, an expert at forgetting or ignoring past mistakes, and then repeating them and being surprised when the same things happen again. And there we go. Some theories on how Bethesda may deal with the Earth situation. I do think the Kessler theory is probably the most likely at this point, but I'm not 100% sure, and like all theories, may also be complete guff. But what's the harm in discussing stuff as long as it doesn't become an expectation? And hey, if the writers manage to come up with something new and fresh, I'll be absolutely delighted. If you've made it to the end here, thank you very much, and if you haven't already, please do think about subscribing to the channel and liking the vid. It does help me a lot. We're so close to the 350 mark, and I just want to thank everyone that's joined the channel. Heck, if we get to the giddy heights of 500, I might have to splash out and get a Discord or something. It'd be fun to chat with folk more fluidly and share like some thoughts and ideas. But anyway, that's enough waffling from me. Till the next video, take care.